My fingers tremble as I dial my mother's number. The phone rings twice before her familiar voice fills the line. "Oh, sweetheart, I was just about to call you," she says lightly. Her tone is sweet, careless, like nothing is wrong at all. "Why is my lake house listed online with your phone number?" I ask. A pause stretches long enough to make my chest tighten. "Oh, that," she finally replies. "We just thought we'd help you sell it. You hardly ever go there, honey. It's just sitting empty." My grip on the phone tightens until my knuckles ache. "You have no right," I whisper, my voice shaking with disbelief. Her tone hardens instantly, familiar and cutting. "Don't be dramatic, Emily. Your father wants to speak with you." The sound of shuffling, then my father's voice replaces hers. "You owe this family, Emily," he says without hesitation. "After everything we've done for you, it's time you give back." "I already helped with Tanner's wedding," I interrupt, heat rising. "I've given you more than enough." He laughs, but there's no humor in it. "We still have your refinance paperwork from that loan you needed. Lorraine kept copies with your signature. That's all we need." His words hit like a punch, cold and deliberate. "You're threatening to forge my signature?" I ask, stunned. "We're family," my mother calls out in the background. "Family helps family." I end the call, my breath shallow, the floor spinning beneath me. For years, I've told myself they needed me, that I was helping them. Now I see the truth. They've been using me. My parents don't see me as their daughter. They see me as a bank account with a pulse. I open my laptop, fingers shaking as I log into the family email. They never changed the password after setting it up years ago. 3 years of messages load on the screen, endless threads. I type Lake House in the search bar and hit enter. 17 results appear, one as recent as last week. The first message is from my brother, 6 months ago. "If Emily won't help with the down payment, we need Plan B." My heart sinks as I scroll through the thread. "She makes plenty," he wrote. "She doesn't need 2 houses." Mom replied, "We helped with her tuition. She owes us." I feel something inside me fracture, clean and final. Further down, a stranger's name appears, Richard Jensen. "For a clean transfer," he writes, "I'll need her signature samples." There are ways to make this work without involving her. The screen blurs as tears sting my eyes. They weren't just planning to sell it. They were planning to steal it. I print every email, every name, every date. The printer hums like a heartbeat, steady and unrelenting. Page after page, proof of betrayal stacks beside me. By the time the last sheet slides out, my fear has turned cold. I slip the papers into a folder and close it carefully. I'm done pretending this is love. I'm done pretending they care. If they want to fight, I'll give them one. I park outside my parents' house, the folder heavy in my hands. The same door I once ran through, as a child now feels foreign. Mom opens it with a bright smile that doesn't reach her eyes. "Emily, what a surprise," she says, stepping aside. I walk past her, straight to the living room where Dad sits waiting. The air feels thick, like everyone already knows what's coming. "What's this about?" he asks, not even pretending confusion. "This," I say, dropping the folder on the coffee table. The sound of paper hitting wood cuts through the silence. Emails spill out like confessions that can't be unsent. Mom sits beside him, trying to maintain her calm. "Sweetheart, we just wanted to help. You're so busy with work." "Stop," I say, opening the first printed email. "You've been planning to sell my house for months." Her smile falters, but she doesn't deny it. Dad leans forward, his eyes sharp, calculating. "That place should benefit the whole family, not just you." I point at the lines on the page, my voice trembling but clear. "This isn't helping, this is fraud." "Big words," he says, almost amused. "We're your parents." "Parents don't forge their daughter's signature," I shoot back. The doorbell rings, and before anyone can move, it opens. My brother Tyler steps inside, phone still in his hand. What's going on? He asks, pretending ignorance. Emily's upset about the lake house, Mom says softly. Her tone is the same she used when comforting a crying child. But I'm not a child anymore. You took money for it, didn't you? I ask him. Tyler looks at Dad, then back at me. It's practically sold, he says, voice defensive. My colleague already paid a deposit. My pulse pounds in my ears. You accepted money for a house that isn't yours. He shrugs. It's for the baby. We needed a real home. Mom nods, as if that justifies everything. Family helps family, she repeats like a prayer. You've had it easy, Emily. You can share a little. I laugh, but it sounds broken. Share, I've been paying your bills for years. Dad's tone turns sharp, cutting through the rising tension. You're ungrateful. We raised you, gave you everything. You taught me guilt, I whisper, not gratitude. They all talk at once, voices overlapping like noise. Excuses, justifications, demands. I let them speak until the room feels like it's spinning. Then I gather the papers and stand. This ends now, I say quietly. You can lie to yourselves, but not to me. Mom reaches for my hand. I pull it back. You'll regret this, Dad warns. No, I answer, moving toward the door. For the first time, I won't. I step outside, the air cold and clean. Behind me, their voices blur into a single sound. Guilt tries to follow, but I leave it there, with them. The phone hasn't stopped ringing since that night. Unknown numbers, familiar voices wrapped in concern. Aunt Lisa calls first, her tone dripping with judgment. Your mother says you've turned cold, Emily. Is that true? I hang up before she can finish. An hour later, my boss calls me into his office. Your mom reached out, he says awkwardly. She mentioned a family emergency, something about finances. My stomach twists. She's spreading it everywhere. Turning me into the villain, again. I leave work early, my thoughts racing. At home, new messages blink on my phone. Cousins I haven't spoken to in years suddenly care. They all say the same thing. Help your family, Emily. I throw the phone onto the couch and breathe deeply. They're trying to isolate me, make me doubt myself. It's their favorite game, guilt by sympathy. I open my banking app just to calm my nerves. Then I see it, charges I don't recognize. $23 at the pharmacy, $41 at a home store. All near my parents' house. Small enough to slip under radar, but not this time. They've started using my card again. The rage comes quietly this time, steady and cold. I call the bank and freeze every account. Then I request new cards, new passwords, new beginnings. The agent asks if I suspect identity theft. Yes, I say. By my own family. That night, sleep refuses to come. The shadows on the ceiling shift with every heartbeat. At 2:17 a.m., I check my email. A message from the bank, suspicious login attempt. Location, my parents' address. My hands shake as I take screenshots of everything. Proof, always proof. By morning, I've changed every password I own. My laptop hums beside me, a witness to the betrayal. When the sun rises, the exhaustion hits. But beneath it, something else, resolve. I start documenting everything. Old transfers, loans I'll never see repaid. Over $100,000 gone, in the name of family help. Each entry feels like a confession, carved into truth. The phone rings again. Dad's voice fills the line, harsh and familiar. You're making things worse, Emily. People are talking. You mean your lies are catching up? I reply quietly. He scoffs, the sound like static. After all we've done, this is how you repay us. I'm done paying, I say and hang up. The silence afterward feels heavier than noise. That evening, Kai calls. There's still a buyer for the lake house, he says. She's offering cash full amount. For the first time in weeks, I feel the weight lift. Maybe it's time to end this once and for all. No more stolen accounts. No more guilt. Just one decision, finally mine to make. I meet Kai at a quiet cafe near the city square. He slides a folder across the table, eyes steady on mine. The buyer's ready, cash offer, no questions asked. The papers inside feel heavier than they should. My fingers trace the outline of the lake house on the cover page. That house once felt like a heartbeat, calm and safe. Now it's a wound I need to close before it festers. When can we sign? I ask, my voice firm. Tomorrow morning, he says, if you're sure. I nod, though certainty still feels like a luxury. That night, I sit alone in my apartment. Every photo on the wall seems to watch me. Family dinners, birthdays, fake smiles over forced gratitude. Each one, a reminder of how manipulation wears a kind face. I take them down one by one until the walls are bare. At dawn, I drive to the bank to open new accounts. The clerk smiles politely, unaware she's witnessing a rebirth. Separate everything, I say. No shared access. By afternoon, all my money lives under new names and locks. Every click of the keyboard feels like cutting another chain. When the signing begins, Kai sits beside me, calm and patient. The notary reads each page aloud, her tone mechanical. I sign every line without hesitation. My signature flows easily, no longer trembling. Congratulations, she says softly. It's officially sold. I exhale for what feels like the first time in years. My phone buzzes immediately, Mom calling. I let it ring, face down on the table. A second later, Dad's name appears, then Tyler. I silence them all and sign the last page. It's done, I whisper, half to Kai, half to myself. He smiles. You did the right thing. On the drive home, sunlight flickers through the windshield. Freedom feels strange, almost weightless. Then the phone rings again. I answer this time. Mom's voice is frantic. Someone changed the locks on your lake house. I keep my tone calm. It's not my house anymore. A pause, sharp and shocked. What do you mean? She demands. I sold it, I say quietly. You can't, she starts, but I hang up before she finishes. An hour later, Dad calls, his voice cold and furious. You had no right. We had plans for that property. Plans you made without me, I answer. You've embarrassed this family. No, I reply. I've finally protected myself. He breathes hard into the receiver, then hangs up. By evening, Kai texts me a single message. The new owners changed the locks. You're free. I stare at the screen for a long moment, letting it sink in. Free. The word feels fragile and vast all at once. For the first time, I'm not someone's safety net. For the first time, my life belongs only to me. The doorbell rings just as I finish my tea. Through the peephole, I see them all standing together. Mom, Dad, Tyler and his wife Mia, her hand resting on her belly. I should ignore them, but I open the door anyway. Sweetheart, Mom says, forcing a smile too wide to be kind. We just want to talk. They walk in without waiting for permission, as if they still own the place. Dad takes the couch like it's a throne he never lost. Tyler helps Mia sit, arranging her like a symbol of innocence. We've come to make peace, Dad begins, voice rehearsed. Mom nods. We understand the house is gone, and we forgive you. Forgive me, the word tastes bitter. Tyler clears his throat, but we thought maybe you could share half. Half, I repeat, unable to hide the disbelief. For the baby, Mom adds softly, eyes glistening with performance. People will talk if you don't help your brother's family. I walk to my desk and pull out a black folder. I thought you might come, I say, setting it on the table. Inside are years of receipts, transfers, and printed statements. Here, what I've already shared, I continue, voice steady. Over $150,000 transferred to them in 5 years. Loan payments, hospital bills, mortgage assistance, all neatly labeled. Dad leans forward, reading the total, his face paling. Mom's lips tremble, searching for another excuse. That was different, she says weakly. We were struggling. You've been struggling my entire life, I answer. Tyler shifts uncomfortably, eyes darting toward the floor. You always had more than us, he mutters. No, I reply. I just stopped spending everything fixing you. I pull another document from the folder and slide it forward. The new owners installed security cameras. Dad stiffens instantly, his color draining further. They recorded someone trying to open the back door last weekend. His mouth opens, closes, then opens again. I was just checking if we left anything there, he says quickly. They've filed a police report, I continue calmly. Mom gasps, covering her mouth with her hand. The room feels smaller, heavy with things unsaid. You're making a mistake, Emily, Dad says finally. You're turning your back on family. I'm turning away from abuse, I say. Mom stands, eyes shining with tears that don't fall. After all we've done for you. For all you've taken from me, I correct. They fall silent, the truth hanging between us like smoke. I walk to the door and open it wide. I'll always be your daughter, I say quietly. But I'll never be your solution again. One by one, they leave without looking back. The last sound is the door clicking shut behind them. For the first time, silence doesn't feel empty. It feels earned. The phone rings 20 minutes later, Kai's voice, calm and firm. The police confirmed the report, he says. I sink into my chair, breathing for the first time in peace. It's over. Maybe not for them, but for me, it finally is. 6 months pass quietly, like the tide pulling away from shore. My apartment glows with morning light, soft and clean. The walls no longer hold family photos or shadows of guilt. Only landscapes now, places I've visited, places that feel like mine. The phone buzzes on the table, but I don't rush to answer. No emergency calls, no guilt wrapped in love. Just silence, warm and earned. Breathe, my therapist says on our video call. Her name is Dr. Levinson, calm and steady as the sea. How does it feel, making choices only for yourself? Like breathing after drowning, I tell her. She smiles, small and knowing. When the call ends, I gather papers for tonight's workshop. I teach now, twice a month, about financial boundaries and control. People come with stories that sound too familiar. They cry, they shake, they apologize for wanting independence. I tell them I once did the same. That freedom starts with one terrifying decision. When the mail arrives, a cream envelope catches my eye. It's from Mia, an invitation to their baby's first birthday. My chest tightens, then eases. I open it slowly, expecting the old guilt to crawl back. But all I feel is peace. I order a small gift online, a stroller from their registry. No check inside the card, only a handwritten note. Wishing you love, health, and lessons learned. It feels right. That evening, Kai and Sarah come over with takeout and champagne. We toast around the new dining table I bought myself. To building futures, not fixing the past, Kai says. We laugh, the sound easy and honest. I spread blueprints across the table after dinner. A small cabin in the mountains, my next dream. It has a photo studio with northern light and wide wooden decks. Sarah traces the outline with her finger. It's perfect, she says softly. It's enough, I answer, smiling. Later, curled in my reading chair, I open my journal. No more records of loans or broken promises. Just plans, sketches, fragments of possibility. I write about the cabin, about future travels, about peace. A message from Aunt Lisa lights up my phone. She says my parents started counseling last week. Baby steps, she adds. I read it twice, then set the phone down. Forgiveness doesn't need reunion. Sometimes it's just releasing the weight. I glance at the empty space on the wall where their photo once hung. Now it's filled with a picture I took of a sunrise over the lake. The same lake where everything ended and began again. The air feels still, but not lonely. I close my eyes, whispering to the quiet. This is mine. My life. My peace. And for the first time, I believe it completely. Night settles softly against the windows. The city hums below, distant and harmless. I light a single candle on my desk, the wax pooling slowly. The journal lies open, pages filled with plans, not apologies. I write one last line before closing it. Freedom is quiet, but it echoes forever. The words sit heavy and right, like a heartbeat finding rhythm. Outside, the wind shifts, carrying the scent of rain. I think of the lake, of the house that once defined me. It's gone now, but the peace it promised finally exists inside me. The past no longer feels like a wound, only a lesson. My phone buzzes once, then falls silent again. I don't check it. Not everything needs an answer anymore. I sip my tea, the warmth steady in my hands. The candle flickers, light and shadow dancing across the room. I smile, slow and certain. The world hasn't changed, but I have. And that's enough. For the first time in my life, I'm exactly where I choose to be.